Facilitation allowed me to step away from my traditional leadership role and to participate with my stakeholders and peers as an equal in the development of our strategic and operational plan.
The value that the facilitation brought to us was really harnessing our team and enabling our team to collaborate more effectively. In my experience, when we've done that without facilitation, it can take much longer. So it enabled us to move more quickly. It enabled us to come to solutions in shorter time frames. So it was much more efficient.
Communicating is not that natural for us. Of course we communicate, but we're maybe naturally shy people and not such extrovert type of people. So facilitation was good in that sense because it enhanced everything basically. It was a good process and we enjoyed the results afterwards.
For us, it was very valuable to work with a professional facilitator through all the stages of the workshop series, from planning and design all the way through implementation, especially because our facilitator brought in his ideas and experiences regarding interactive formats and useful session structures. And that was a very good complement to what our colleagues brought in terms of content.
Facilitation really helped to create an engaging and inspiring event, and that left people with positive spirits, positive outcomes, even beyond the actual workshops.
开始的时候，我们整个会场是非常冷漠的，但是我们的会议技术是让大家能够立即打破原有的僵持，加入到探讨当中，并且可以激发互相之间的一个思考。那同时呢，它又是作为一个非常有用的一个收敛的工具，让大家的很多的意见能够迅速的统一，并且达成共识。
My day revolves around being a facilitator. That is what I do. But it's difficult to facilitate within that group setting when I don't want to be seen as directing or guiding. I want it to be a collective ground root effort from the beginning to say, as a collective group, what did we do? So facilitation allowed us that opportunity for myself and my admin team to be working together with our entire staff and have that group effort.
Facilitation brings to our organization values of respect, trust, listening, and empathy. People need to trust each other that we are facing the same challenge and wanting to find the common solutions.
Facilitation was key to achieving our objectives. We wanted our partners to create connections and interact with each other, but also create a safe and trusting space for meaningful conversations, for extraordinary conversations. We also wanted to further consolidate our alliance of partners. And through the facilitation techniques used, we were able to achieve all that.
The level of detail was what surprised me the most. Each level of the design of the process was meticulous and allowed us to come out of this process with an outstanding plan that's easily operationalized.
This intentionality in crafting the design patterns of inclusion, of safe space, of collaboration, of collective care were critical in conveying the message effectively. I never thought that this was so important. And I see this as the architectural design that guides all the rest. And because we put so much time into this stage, we were able to put together what came next very quickly, including the technology that we needed to use to achieve our goals.
Our facilitator, Jost Wagner, was introducing these little marbles as knowledge tokens that our participants could use to express respect and gratitude towards one another for good conversations they had, for inspirations they got from each other. And that really created a very nice atmosphere, these little marbles.
Facilitators are able to break down the issue into pieces so that people can start talking. We didn't expect people to be so easily starting to be talking about an issue which may not be too related to their daily situation. Facilitators are able to bring out the energy, and people can express themselves without barriers.
What was a surprise for us was that facilitation really isn't only about keeping the schedule, keeping the time, introducing the next speaker, but really looking at every single participant, at every single speaker, their experiences, their needs, what they would like to share, and putting them in the focus and making them feel comfortable to join the event and to share their knowledge.
Facilitation is really a skill. It's not something that happens on its own. It was surprising that facilitation is an actual skill. It takes refinement of this skill, and having a professional facilitator makes collaborative problem solving much more efficient.
I was very surprised at how efficiently and effectively we went through the process with using a facilitator. It was well worth the investment, and we would do it again for our next plan.
We say that this event was the beginning of an ongoing conversation, and because of the facilitation techniques used and that we will continue to use, we will be able to have to consolidate those partnerships even further, having other meaningful conversation, other spaces for collective care and knowledge sharing. And facilitation made all that happen.
I feel very lucky that we have strong facilitation support within our organization that I can rely on to help us when we need to solve complex business challenges.
I would say utilize facilitation as a powerful tool to gather different individuals together in a safe and encouraging environment to co-create innovative practices and ensuring long-lasting and positive impacts, because that's what happened when we used facilitation to build our city of Rauma.
I would say going through this process and using a facilitator in the way that we did has had two main changes. Within our staff structure itself and the way we use our meetings is one aspect, but as teachers, we're all facilitators. And it really allowed us to then think, well, how can we transfer that knowledge into not only my work as a principal, but also as a teacher or a non-instructional staff member. You all are facilitators in your own way, in your environment. And that's something that really, I think, was a kind of an eye-opening experience when you go through this process for myself and the staff as well.
So facilitation is so much more than only moderating an event. It's really a co-creative process all the way from planning and design through to actual implementation. I think going forward, I would not want to miss working with a facilitator on the next workshop series. It has been very helpful.
I think facilitation can help to create a different type of learning. Learning that helps us to understand complexity, which is very much important to tackle future issues like climate change, like biodiversity loss. Learning together, not only presenting some topics and contents, but really making the topic important for each participant and their interests and their experiences.
I think facilitation is a very important process, and it should be learned by everybody. It's a common way of relating to each other, especially for those who have different perspectives and dimensions. Facilitation can actually be applied to almost every facet of human life, from very micro personal relations to very macro global issues.